as I was saying, it seems to me that our defendant, Mr. Natsume, brought tea to the guy. Let's actually get into the... Let's remember some names here. It's been like a couple of weeks since we played this game. So, yeah. So Seki Natsume brought some books over to see William Shamspeare, his neighbor downstairs, and this guy has been freezing water in bars of soap, where he had pressed in a 3-penny bit to give it the same shape and dimensions, and then he freezes water in it to pay his bills for the utility pump, for the gas meter where you put money in. And it only detects by weight and by dimension of coin that goes in. So he's been paying with liquid money.
Taco Bell for dinner.
And he's been buying Taco Bell. Hello, Freya. How are you? Oh my goodness. Again, perfect timing. That command works with everything. It's so good. I'm so glad I made it. How's life treating you, Freya? Come on in. Nice to see you. Welcome to Monday. We're just recapping the case since it's been 2 weeks since we played this game. So yeah, he's been making money out of water, which he freezes on the window ledge, and then he would do that like 3 or 4 times a day, and the puncture in the bottom of the money box would then drain out. And we caught him out on that because of the crime scene photo that was taken. You can see there's like a stain on the floor as though water has been seeping there forever. And he was probably using the fork to get like his next fake coin out of there to put in. So he must have done like 3 or 4 of these. Hey, Miss Prague, winning? Yes, always. Missed the last stream of this. Oh, right. So yeah, you don't know what we did, what we found out. So we know that the guy is alive. William Shamspeare is alive and came to the court to then testify that Soseki Natsume did try to poison him with the tea. But what we figured out is this guy here, who we saw lurking around the window ledge, he works for the gas company. And one of the jurors is actually the wife of the owner of the gas company. And they've been investigating Shamspeare for a while to see why how he's able to have free gas. Like, they've installed these gas meters in their apartments, and people pay for them with 3-penny bits, or threpny bits, as they would call them back then. And, yeah. Every time they come to empty his box, there's no money in it. They put a wax seal on it to make sure that it's not broken, you know. But what they didn't notice is he's punctured a hole in the bottom, and he's paying with frozen water. Pressed into, well, moulded out of a bar of soap, where he pressed a coin in, and then he freezes water in it by putting it out on the window ledge during the snowy winter. So that's how he's able to pay for his free gas, and we're only doing this so we can discredit the dude as being a credible witness. But these are the cups as well, and we'll notice that Soseki's cup, he drank out of the green one apparently. Doesn't have a ring around it for the tea, but Shamspeare's does, which means he didn't drink the tea immediately, which tracks with what they said. He said he didn't drink it straight away, he prefers to drink his tea cold. So, which is just heresy in my opinion. I don't understand. He deserves to be poisoned at that. But I think what he did was use the tea once Natsume had gone to make his new coins, because the water in the building was frozen. The pipe froze, so he wasn't able to fill it up from the public tap or the pump outside. The street one froze as well. So he used that, because when we came to the scene of the poisoning the next day and found the guy unconscious, and it turns out he was actually alive, he woke up later. Hey, now, I like cold tea. Heretic! I mean, okay, that's cool. Sorry, that just happens every now and then. As long as you don't microwave it if you want it hot. I know people who do that. That's wrong. But that's what he's been doing, and he saw an opportunity. Oh, there's liquid here that I can freeze. That's why I didn't drink the tea. And if we can prove this now, because we took one of these bars of soap and it had like a brown glassy looking thing in it, and we thought it was an emblem, you know, like that imperial leather have that stamp on it or something. But when we looked at it again in the trial, it's gone. And we know now it's melted and run away, and that set us on this whole path of thinking. And since there's no tea to test for poison, we can't prove Natsume's guilt. Innocence. But to me, it also says that the prosecution can't prove his guilt either if they can't test it for poison. But they do know this guy was poisoned with strychnine. That seems to be a given. I don't know how they know it, but, you know, apparently they do. I know people who microwave coffee to get it warm. That's gross, yes, it is. It's like, just tip it down the drain, make another cup. It's like, ugh, reheating it, no good. So, we've been given an extra day by the judge. We know we can go and get more of these tea coins, and we can probably have it tested. I think we were even given a testing solution for it? No, we weren't. We need to at least get that, though. So that's what we have to do now, and that's where we are. So, yay, we're all caught up. So we're back at the office. Phew, we made it back in one piece, just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London, you were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I meant the trial. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san, it really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can find out some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. ... Is everything alright? I suppose I still can't quite believe it, that's all. I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean, in the Old Bailey no less. Yeah, because this is only a few days. This is like 3 days after he arrived in England. If it's gonna be hot, it's gotta be fresh brewed. Yes, leftover coffee gets put in the fridge for cold coffee the next day. Oh, right, so you could, I guess you could make a cold iced coffee or something out of it. Yeah, I have no objection to that. Although I'll stick with my mocha. Nice and warm. But the truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan, which didn't involve breaking his neck on the boat on the way here. Yeah, I just drink it black on ice. Ah, I like my coffee like I like my Sabbath. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I drink my, unless it's mochas, I mean, that's obviously got milk in it, but it's hot chocolate as well and coffee, so that's good. I don't like milky coffee. I don't like lattes. Ugh. Sickly. Horrible. Very disgusting. But yeah, I prefer to have just black coffee, no sugar. Nice, strong, boil your insides coffee. It's all good. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. Alright, so, we could examine the room, but I don't think there's really anything to examine. No, there's the shovel and spade. We're not getting into that argument again. And yeah, we're basically in the attic above Herlock Sholmes' place. So today's trial. You drink tea straight too. See, I like a little milk and sugar in my tea, but only like a little amount of sugar. Too much, it's too sweet. Too little, it's too bitter. I just need a tiny little bit to take the bitterness off, and that's it. I mean, not green tea though, and like fancy teas. Just normal, good old English breakfast tea needs to have milk and sugar in it. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it, when the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand? I know. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a bare-faced gas thief as well. Yes, that certainly was a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san's poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know of, I'm sure. Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everybody thought he was at first. I hope to go to Britain someday and intend to try many teas while there, and iron brew, yes. Yeah, because not many other countries get iron brew, because one of the food additives in it for the colouring, I think, is illegal in a lot of countries. Because it could cause cancer. Like, really? Okay. And then you look at everything else that they allow and you think, dude, you're worried about that? And you do this? What? Oh my god. But yeah, definitely. Iron brew's good. It's ironic because there's a lot of stuff banned elsewhere that America allows. Yes, exactly. It's the wrong kind of chemicals. That's the problem. They're like, no, these are bad chemicals. These are good chemicals. These are the ones we sell to other countries. So, of course, we will let that happen. It's back arsewards, yes. I mean, you know, a lot of countries are about a lot of stuff. We've got our own shit in this country where it's like, why do we do this? This is, you know, but, well, politicians, isn't it, at the end of the day? So what's become of him, actually? I was told he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatments. Oh, which one is that? Out comes the book of everything. Let me see. Oh yeah, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as the Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital which she was taken. Ah, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's, yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Jack back, hello, how's it going? Happy Monday. Yes, got a lurk for work. No problem, thank you for the lurk. Hope you're doing well and I hope Monday treats you good. Have a good day. Go to the chemicals that cause certain cancer that the American doctors can charge for. Exactly, that's what it is. We've got to be careful. The Illuminati will get wind of this. And then we're in for it, you know. But we know what's really going on. Yeah. So we know Soseki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspear's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamspear's room that will help resolve the mystery. Naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been all over the place already. It couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Because there was nothing else in his apartment. He had no food because he's poor as shit and doesn't eat anything. Literally the only thing he had that day was tea. He was in a locked room, so there was no chance of, if he took poison himself, there was no container that the poison would have been in, if it was like a suicide attempt. You know, there was no container for the poison. So, and since it was a locked room locked from the inside, nobody could have removed it from the scene either. Although I think we're discounting the fact that he could have taken the poison outside, thrown the container away, then come in, and then gone down. But that's hard to prove. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. And then we'll all get a craving for fish and chips, because you'll see why in a minute. If you haven't watched this game yet, when we meet Gregson, you're going to want fish and chips, trust me. Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I've ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon at the horrible incident just before we left Japan. And then again, the horrible incident of his death. I can still picture him looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with? Yeah, stow away my luggage and come with me to England. I'll hide you in the cupboard in my cabin, it'll be cool. I'll bring you leftover meals. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough. I'm sure no one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through the trial that you really ought to go into law and be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it, believe me. I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to go and see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh no. Never mind. Dude, don't get all mysterious on me just because you got the protagonist wind. Fucking hell. And he's not even the main character. And he gets protagonist wind. Can you believe it? Naruhodo-san? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better, that was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right. But... yes. I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. It's because we know he was told that there was something he had to do while he was here. Some other job. And it's like, ooh. I think he was actually sent to investigate the whole stealing of intelligence stuff that we uncovered in the first game. Because this now is before they knew that. This is a flashback case. So I wonder if it's got something to do with that, because his name was on the list of names that was being stolen. Along with Gregson, some guy called Shun, or Shin, not Shun, Shin, and... oh yeah, Dr. Wilson, the guy who died at the beginning, Iris's father. And Sholmes' partner, or old partner. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean this. I have hands! His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Plus, you know, Von Zykes gets to have his sword, I have mine. I think it's only fair. That guy scares me. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma? That's right, it's a prized sword that's been passed down through the generations of the Asogi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me, I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling on that subject. There's something very important I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. We have to kill the Queen. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I'd hoped the answer to the question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue. In the 3 days that I've been here. I see. Well, let us move on. Let's go say hello to Sholmes and Iris. If we have to. Iris is great. Sholmes? Bit of a jerk. But funny, so we'll let him go for that. Oh, Runo! Susie! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am. And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups up. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually... What is that foul smell? Oh, there he is. Ha! The Wanderer returns at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court? Oh, well, Mr. Moustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So, tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zykes an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, we didn't know your name until we met you, but okay. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odour? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. So many friends of mine love Sholmes, but I'm just like, bah, yeah. I want to hate him just on principle. But it's one of those, you know, love to hate him moments, you know what I mean? Ah, indeed. That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Let's converse. Lord Barak Van Zykes, yes. It's an interesting... God, what's with these old words? Sobriquet. Sobriquet? Is that it? He has, isn't it? A Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found guilty, not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? Falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by highwaymen. Ooh. Happy lurking, Miss Prague! We'll see you later. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellows. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Moustache is in fighting fit, for the time being at least. Well, that's not overly reassuring. If the rumours are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zykes' own hand. As it happens, Miss Susato, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, when these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? Well, he was with the judge when Magnus MacGilder got burned to death, and we eventually, after this, you know, in timeline-wise, we'll find out who done it. It was that Mr. Graydon, the guy all dressed in white. And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. He probably, you know, didn't like the fact that people were dying around him. You know, this whole Reaper of the Bailey thing, it probably set him off as well, thinking, I need to stay away from the courts, because when people are found not guilty, they still die, and that's wrong. So, why he's now here is another question entirely. We know he's got another agenda. That is until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into a trial at the Old Bailey. The bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And it really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable. What? What's that got to do with it? I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people because he's a racist. What's that foul smell? Who beefed? So, what's that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. Super Soldier Serum, nice. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest innovation. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. What? Whether tea is genuine. Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but it is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavour. Oh. Well, that's certainly unsavoury behaviour and very un-British of them. What kind of British person would dare fake a cup of tea? So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful, Iris. At the ready, Hurley. This is going to come in so conveniently handy for the case that we're on. It's like, oh, we've just got a thing that teaches us whether or not tea is actually tea, and what the tea is at the centre of this case. How convenient. Let us add a drop of my chemicals to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? Yes, the tea now stinks. Oh. It's turned completely black. And what a foul odour it's giving off. Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes and the more foul the odour, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was of a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with the black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with the new invention, Mr. Shums. Well, not really, because if you bought a whole, tin of tea, you'd make yourself one cup and test it. And if it's fine, the rest of the tea should be fine too, right? Hence why the chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, there are such exciting times. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock-Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea incident was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Because we'll probably need to use that during this case. So, with Mr. Natsume, whom I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Mr. Sato and myself, I feel even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zuyck seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed, it is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? I mean, he said he felt he was betrayed by a Japanese person. That was the thing we found out at the end of the last game. Oh, we might get it here. It was about 10 years ago that Baron Van Zuyck chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I am unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but come on. Give him the puppy dog eyes, Susato. He'll crack. No, he probably wouldn't, actually. The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Moustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Yeah. So about this forensic science malarkey, what is this? So your T-test is an example of a forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints. Not yet accepted into our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I haven't heard of them until recently, which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. What does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in the field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints. The nomenclature of my own design is a chemical agent that makes it possible. I think we've seen these chemicals before on his utility belt, didn't we? It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Yeah, they used this on the boat. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black, yes. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, we should get back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo. See you later. Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, we're thinking you'd come with us? You were? Yes, of course. You said so a moment ago. You said we witnessed the forensic talent in action? Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines, but you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me, sir. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye-bye, Susie. Oh, she's adorable. We will move on. We haven't visited this place in some time. I wonder if there's anybody here. Is Olive Green still here? This is going to be like another day after. She's still got her stuff here. Wow. I guess she's going to be here a while. She was stabbed in the back just a couple of days ago, so... What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Uh-oh. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken, my foot. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady. I wish you died from that poison. Oh, God have mercy, ample lady. But thou seest, I have vigour still. Behold, my Shamspeare dance. Oh my God, gotta dance. Do they know each other? This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Oh God, he's seen us. Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspeare? Marry, I do believe I am returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so darkly clad. Faith, thy work in the courts this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Well, thank you. Oh, shit. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Wow, we've dropped the thespian act now, have we? Anon excusen. Okay. He just vanished. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted you'll be soon well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. Yeah, she's got some serious, like, self-esteem issues, and that rat's still there as well. What the hell? Well, there's nothing here. We can't converse with her. Let's go to the prison first and see if Natsume is able to talk to us. Oh. He's facing the wall. He's in a mood. Ahem, Mr. Natsume. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello? What? I am a cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat. There's some kind of escapist, like, self-hypnosis thing going on. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Quick, call the guards! We have an escape attempt! Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name, then? Oh, God. As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? There he is. I see him. I am not a cat. It worked. He's back in the real world. Nice try, Buster, but you're going to suffer here with the rest of us. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that. It's obvious. My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate. Mr. Natsume, no. This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope. Yes, yes. A locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent. In court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes. Yes, we must. So, the trial. In my whole life, have I ever been so moved? I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was it was the most moving experience of my life, Miss Locum, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're too kind. And a little bit too much. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea just as we deduced and are analysing it as we speak. I think. We have no way of knowing that yet. We haven't been there yet. There's nothing wrong with the tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn swan Soseki certainty. Tell me, did you both drink tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at the time you were both completely fine? as shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. Oh god, yeah, they actually had a wrestling match to determine who was the strongest, Romeo or Juliet. What? I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be on how the poison was taken by the victim then. So, Shamspear did drink the tea, but he told us in court he drank it cold. So whatever the tea was that he put in the coin molds, in the soap, that might have been another cup. I mean, was there more tea in the pot more than just like 2 cups worth, like 1 each? Was there an extra load that he then poured himself? I don't know. Maybe. That rotten Shamspear. What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all. All right. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Let you know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. Are you struggling with your meager stipend? Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live in an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed and that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of the capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and it's trying to kill me! The capital offender? Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soup. Okay. Well, don't drop it in the shower, dude. So he wants to, he's like, the soap. Why didn't he tell me about making coins with soap, the bastard? It's like, well, you know, if everybody gets onto that scam, that's going to be bad news for everybody. I'd keep that shit to myself. Can we present these to him and have him talk about the tea? Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but... Ah, it's been too long since I've been offered a present with the delightful, humble etiquette of our homeland. What? You're too kind, I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. It's evidence. I just want you to look at it, but okay. Wonder if he knows anything about the torn-off piece of envelope. We don't know what that's about yet. Mr. Natsume? It's nothing much, but... Ah, it's been too long, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I wonder... whether or not whatever was in this was was the poison. Like, was he sent something that he then ate? Yeah, I don't think we have anything to give him here, do we? Alright, well, that's all the weird we're gonna get from him. Let's go to Briar Road. You can see the soap on the window ledge there, look. That little yellowy coloured brick. Alright, well, there's nothing here. No one here. Shamspear's room. Yeah, how could he have been poisoned? And we still have this, like, area just above, just on the floor there that looks like a loose floorboard. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson, and your fish and chips that lasts forever. Oop, there's a new one. Where's it coming from? What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware. Yep, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. Where do you get your fish and chips from? The soap on the ledge outside the window, did you find it with the tea in it? Yep, we found it all right. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. It's with the identification section at the Scotland Yard, and they're looking into it. The results should be available later today. That's wonderful news, thank you. Anything else? Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing, forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. Oh god, there he is! Sholmes! Fucking Sholmes! But yeah, look, there's like an obvious loose floorboard here, and I want to interact with it and lift it up because there's going to be something that's going to break the case under there, but... well, never mind. I don't think there'd be anything new. Oh, let's look at this again now. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. That's true. If you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring. Then again, for the very wealthy, they didn't have these kind of gas meters. They could afford to pay a gas rate, and they didn't have to have a meter installed for like a usage. So they would pay a huge amount of money just to buy gas in bulk. So... I'm wondering if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring. That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. Look how dark the stain is on the floor. It is underneath the meter there. Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamspeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. Yeah, he was running the gas all day and night because of these ice coins. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. But yeah, he never wanted for warmth or light. Look at this again. The sun never shines in the room thanks to the depressing bricked-up window. Yes, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you? Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Susato. Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, but wise if you want to. Let's look at the table again. The ill-fated teacups from which two men drank on their ill-fated night. During their heated literary debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think about it, I'm sure the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison. Yes, they did. But that's fictitious, Miss Susato. Let's hope this stays this way. There's the soap. So it turns out Mr. Shamspeare wasn't eating the soap at all. That's right, the mystery of why he had it on the plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved. Yes, prized the latest ice coin out of its mould. And in the process he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two. It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. But that doesn't excuse Sholmes for his ridiculous idea that the man was eating soap. So I wonder if perhaps, like, the poison took hold of him at that moment, and he kind of like, maybe he was like in a seizure or something, because he was foaming at the mouth as well, which is part of the symptom of that poison, and he might have stabbed the bar of soap and split it in two as a result. And then this is the stage where the guy likes to practice his performances. Alright, let's do this. Actually, can I speak to Gregson first? Are you looking for new clues, Inspector? On Lord Van Zyx's orders, yes. Don't come back till you've got something for me, he says. Oh dear, poor you. Having to do your job. Oh my god. Yeah, poor me, because we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in the place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Bottomless warm chips. Well, at least he's honest. I told you guys, you're going to want fish and chips when we meet this guy. I want them now. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Was it not your good self asked me to attend the scene? Oi! What are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me. Once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is it now time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Oh god, he's got the goggles on! What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh shit, whoa, dude, put the gun down. Sherlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample of the tea from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup. Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Well, this is his room. I think you'll find he touched everything in here. Here, try them on. Oh. The world is blue. How soothing. This is nice. There, now, spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that exactly? A little press of A on the area you're interested in is all that is required, like this. Ugh. Ah, well, what is that stuff? It's like fog. Suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most effective way to cover the large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally while I was developing this idea. As you do, as one does. Oh, look, I've casually invented something while trying to fix another problem. Fuck, this keeps happening. The patent office is sick of hearing from me. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Alright, so... bloop, bloop. Ooh, yeah, he touched all around that shit. All around that shit. Ooh. Oh, wow. What the hell? Look, there are dozens of handprints here. So there are a great many indeed. So much that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. Oh, it sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all, and, without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Very true, Mr. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. And there's a box there, so it's like he was standing on the box and putting his hands against the wall. If I had a dirtier mind, I'd be making some really crude suggestions right about now, but oh well. I'm deliberately avoiding the floorboard because it'll probably be the last thing we need to touch. Ooh. Alright. There we go! Oh, look at this here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? There's nothing obvious that would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. That's kind of the point, you know, it's like, yeah, if it was obvious, then you wouldn't trip over it now, would you? I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation, except for the fact that that floorboard obviously comes up. Look at it. It's even a different shade. That's video game logic for secret area. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over the room, didn't we? We did, but there are 2 places in particular of interest, I would say. The handprints on the floor there, and on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. It won't be a moment. It does. But I'd like to look at the picture as well, because the floor is obvious, the picture isn't. I'm more interested in that. Ah! What is it, Miss Susato? Did you find the beating heart? The accursed, still beating heart beneath the floorboards. Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean it's a secret hidey place? Excellent work, Miss Susato. Oh, yeah, I didn't do anything. So, what do we have here? Oi, what are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson, stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. Your fancy talk is putting me off my food as always, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Exactly what we need as well, so go fuck yourself. Find your own evidence. Oh great, he's on it now. Never mind. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find! It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could fit a straw tatami mat. No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards would move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate at once. Quick, while Gregson's distracted. Anything? There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprint? I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over there in one place like that. Oh, what the hell was that? There you are, a print for you. Oh, a photograph of handprints on the wall entered into the court record. Cool. What if he was standing on the box to get up to the gaslight, and he was putting his hands on the wall while doing it so he could huff the gas and get high? Maybe. That could be what he was doing, you know. Or maybe he just needed it to be able to light. Mind you, I think these are like self-lighting systems. Like you twist that red knob or push it or something, and it probably sets off like a little flint clicker or something that's supposed to light the gas. Well. But I like my huffing gas idea so much better. Think about it. During the day, he doesn't need it, right? You know, for light. Well, he would actually, because there's no light in this room, come to think of it. Alright, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I! Oi, Gregson, you done yet? Has they done clowning around? And I can't actually investigate it either. So let's have a good look at this. That's literally it. But yeah, look at it, like, his hands there, I mean, I would imagine that's chest height for him, because with Susato, and this guy's pretty tall, with Susato, it was almost like her head came up to this area. So for this guy, it would probably be more like chest height. So it's like he's putting his hands on the wall like that, at this kind of rate, like where his shoulders are. So his head would be up here. Sniffing gas. Gregson! I'd love to know if there's anything hidden under the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Yeah, you do that. I'm sure it's going to go down well. Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh, I'd kill to know what's under the floorboard. Arrgh. Alright then. Fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? All of it. What's on the clipping? Looks like this was cut out of a paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving up time in Manchester. How terrible. It made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh goodness, he'd committed a capital offence? Man by the name of Selden. A nasty piece of work into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard of treasure, you mean? Jewellery and the like. But he's hidden it somewhere and no one knows where. Now he's dead. Let me guess. Is he the guy that used to rent the apartment above? The one where Natsume stays now? I bet he is. And I bet the treasure is in here somewhere. It's in this building, right? Oh my god. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. That's pretty good. I like that. Does it not strike you, though, why such an article would be so carefully ensconced into the floorboards? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Received the death penalty, died of illness in prison, and his loot remains undiscovered. What about the print? Oh. So this is the print I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Gary Deb and some rather artistic looking fellow. Notice all the paintbrushes in his pouch there? That looks like the person on the picture in Olive Green's in her hospital wardroom. And they've got the same kind of hairstyle, which we picked up on, I think, when we first saw that picture at the beginning of this case. It was like, maybe they know each other. Brother and sister, maybe, that kind of thing. So he's here with Gary Deb at this house. So did he used to stay here, probably? He might have been the tenant in this room previously, or a tenant or something, I don't know. It would appear to have been taken on the streets in front of the house here. Yes, Sholmes, I just said that. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Gary Deb, the landlord, of course. Who's the young man on the right? Mr. Gary Deb's son, perhaps? No, they don't have kids. I don't think. Perhaps. You can take the print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the Yard already knows the identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. Okay. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet today, grinding a dungeon solo for collectibles. Oh, that's no problem. You go get those collectibles. I fully understand. You've done 15 runs and no dice. No! Pray to RN Jesus, and he will provide. Good luck getting your collectibles. I didn't even do much of the... I realised actually last night, I didn't do much of the Halloween event in Guild Wars 2. I played it for a bit when it first came out, and then I was going to go back, and I never did. And for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't logged in. And it's over now. It was done on the 5th. So, yeah. I think. Or maybe it was the 3rd. Usually things finish on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so maybe it was the 2nd or the 3rd of November, because it started right at the beginning of October. That was really early. But either way, yeah, I missed out on the achievements for the year, and I've missed a lot of the events in Guild Wars. I haven't played it much this year. I really ought to get back to it, but I go and play it for half an hour and then I just can't be bothered. You know, so we'll see. Maybe when Winter's Day rolls around. I think that's the next big event now, is the Christmas one. That's usually good to grind. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Alright, so Mr. Garrideb with a young man in front of the Briar Road house. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrideb was rather delighted to have been immortalised. He probably made a proud present of it. That's true. And what about the tin box? Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. Let me guess, is it tea? Oh, or nothing. That was going to be my next guess. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare! Give us a clue, man! You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Nothing. Thin air. It's empty. Rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then, I wonder? Shall we test it with everything we have? Meow. Kitty! Oh, look! It's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name? Cat! It's a cat! It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call him Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in there. Clever cat. How do cats get anywhere? They're magic, that's how. Oh, wonderful, then. Wagahai, here's something delicious I've brought for you from, for the cat's, what? I'm butchering the shit out of this. Oh, wonderful, well then. Wagahai, here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's meat man. There's a cat's meat man? And forget it. The cat isn't going to be interested. You give a cat something you think it's going to like, it's going to turn its nose up at it, because why? I don't want that. What is this? Salmon? Pfft, I don't want salmon. And they'll just fucking turn tail and walk away. It's like you've tried to feed them peasant food. Or in this case, the cat seems to love it. So that's okay, good. I like how she just happened to have a bowl with her as well to put the meat in. He couldn't be happier now, look. I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Making, making little buns there. You know, what do they call it? Kneading. You know, where they're just, like, pressing down all the time. That's cute. So, the cat came from behind here. Can we just look behind here, please? Must know. Hello. Stretch. Good kitty. Meow. Now, that was a cheeky little meow wagahai. Watching you, cat. You're up to something. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. Well... we only have the picture that we could look at. Let's have a look at the newspaper clipping. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strangeway prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours of the morning. He'd been suffering with a fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmates, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Let's go speak to Garrideb about this photo, see if he knows who this person is. I'm gonna guess the person's last name is Green. Got a thought. Oh, Mr. Garrideb appears to be out. Oh well, I suppose we'll have to come back again later. Balls. Where else could we go then? Green's bed. Oh, here she is. She's still here. So this... Look, there's a photograph in the frame here. Look who it is! Yes, he's a picture of a young gentleman. Looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone? No, I mean, they're clearly related. Do you think? My, Mr. Naruhodo, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Yeah, okay, we've already gone through all that. Let's show her the photo. Are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Yes, well, yes. It was really an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along the snow one evening, minding my own business, and then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Ah yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. What's interesting is she's got a key round her neck as well, and she keeps gripping it. I've got a very gossamer of a thought that this guy Selden is also related to them. And maybe that's the key to wherever he hid the thing. I don't know. I don't know. But I can't talk to her and have her be present for me to present something to her. I want to show her this picture. It's so obvious. I want my characters to be able to put two and two together here as well and be like, look, this kid here is the same person as the picture over here, you know. And I want to show it to her to be like, who is this man? But I can't. Because here's the thing as well. Shamspear was looking at her painting, and I wonder if she's painting stuff that somehow might be related to this, because he's looking for the treasure. He's a treasure hunter, I think. That's what he's doing. He wants to know where this treasure was that this Selden hidden buried. And I think she might have some piece of the puzzle. He's Nicolas Cage, basically. That's what this guy is. He's looking for national treasure. Go back to the prison, see if we can speak to what's-his-face again. Maybe we can show him the picture and see if he knows anything about it. No, he doesn't know anything about it. The default thingy. What if we showed him the article, though? Is this the... because he keeps referring to this capital offender, or whatever it was. Something like that. It was phrased something like that. Who used to have the room before, and that's why it's haunted, because the ghost of that person is there. But apparently the person died in the room. I can't remember now. Maybe. Let's just show him. Yeah, here we go. What's this? A newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspear's room. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry. About this man, Selden. A convicted killer, and the evil spirit behind the curse that affects my lodgings. Told ya. What? Nanny? He's already taken one young man's life, and now... oh, that'll be the kid in the picture. He's trying to take the life of another. A miserable, mustached, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. Tell us about this ghost you want busted. The truth is, I don't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garrideb's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now. In my very room. Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offence, but before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse. What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison, a man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. Ah, that's the person who died in the room he was mentioning. Okay, it was the previous tenant. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside, exactly like the case we're dealing with now? So that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes. Well, that was the start of it. Alright, tell me more. We're getting somewhere. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? I'm going to suggest smothered. The official cause of death was asphyxia. Because he keeps saying that in the middle of the night, he feels something smothering him. And I think it's the cat laying on his face myself, but anyway. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Oh. Oh, so gas poisoning, maybe. Gas? I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Garrideb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal. If the gas thing from below is making an issue above, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is he... like, maybe he can't get the tap to open, or maybe the tap isn't, like, it's not igniting and the gas is going up into the room above. There's some, yeah, there must be something wrong with that fixture, and it's seeping up through the floorboards. So lucky for Mr. Garrideb maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe the curse is affecting you? It is, it is! At first, I just felt as though I was being watched all the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up, and the room is as cold as ice. But why is your room so cold? London's winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight, but for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb to bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of these strange happenings in Mr. Garrideb's rooms? Faulty plumbing. The gas fixtures are obviously fucked. They're busted. Now I'm gonna show him this. Alright, no. He's not gonna bite on that either. Right. He probably doesn't know who the previous tenant was then, but it's gonna be this kid. I'm telling you. It's this kid. This kid is somehow related in some way to Olive Green. Maybe she walked past this building on a regular basis because this is where he died and she was just like commemorating his death every time she came past the place, you know? That kind of stuff. Or maybe this capital offender is related to them in some way as well. Maybe they're his kids and they came looking for his treasure. And then he just died from asphyxiation because of the gas in the middle of the night. Garrideb around now? Maybe.